What's going on, everyone? So Austin Reaves is expected to take some real strides this upcoming season and kind of get back to a version that he was not last year, but the previous year, right? When he really had his emergence, when he really was shooting the ball well, playing both sides of the basketball, was not just basically a traffic cone out there, right? And JJ Redick is very confident that he can kind of get Austin Reaves back to being another version of that and just being just a better player, period. I mean, even Rob Pelinka has been very public and open about, Austin Reaves kind of taking even like a Brunson level leap. But in the first preseason game, offensively, he was not very good. Now, there are some things that I really liked that he did that he wasn't doing last year. And if you just look at his box scores just in a pinch, right? You look at it, he gave you 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He's 2 of 9 from the field, but he was 2 of 5 from 3. 40% from 3. It was at 30%, 28% from the field total. That's not great. But the problem is that he only had 6 points total, which were the 2 threes. The other 10 points came from the foul line, right? He was 10 of 10 from the foul line. Now, here's the thing, though. I actually love that because that is something that Austin Reaves was not doing last year that I highlighted repeatedly. Last year, Austin Reaves was incredibly inconsistent. He couldn't shoot. He's still struggling to shoot, clearly. 2 of 9 from the floor is not very good. But the difference between what we saw in the first preseason game and what we didn't see all season last season was that aggression, was getting into the teeth of the defense, creating the contact, drawing fouls, so that way you could get to the foul line and start opening things up, stop the clock, build up your stat total that way, right? Last season, Austin Reaves just settled a ton, right? You would see games where he was 2 of 9, but he didn't have the 10 of 10 free throws. He'd only have 3 free throws. And it's okay, he gave you 9 points or 12 points, but, he was 3 of 10, so he shot 30% from the floor, and he gave you 2 free throws or 3 free throws, right? That's the difference. He wasn't being aggressive. He was, in most occasions, just comfortable jacking up threes. There'd be times where he's, 0 of 4 from three-point range, and it's why not attack the closeout, put the ball on the deck, get in the teeth of the defense, and then score, right? Why do you have to, you don't have to keep shooting, right? If you're wide open, then sure, right? Take the shot, but still, your shot isn't falling, stop settling, be aggressive, get to the basket, draw some contact, get to the foul line, right? That is something that we saw last night that I was very happy to see. Austin Reaves, I still believe, can be a very good player. Now, look, I don't believe that he's what the Lakers, the Lakers have him untradeable, right? If you're not trading for prime Michael Jordan, don't even call about Austin Reaves. I don't necessarily agree with that. I was in the camp of trading Austin Reaves for DeJounte Murray. But it's not because I think Austin Reaves is a bad player. I just think he's not DeJounte. I think DeJounte Murray's the better player. And he's more proven, and he provides a real need that the Lakers have, which is the lack of athleticism and speed out on the perimeter, right? Where Austin Reaves doesn't really solve that. He's not going to all of a sudden become hyper athletic and, super quick footed, right? But he does do a lot of other things, right? He can make plays. No, he can rebound. Can he defend? Now, he actually was good defensively last night, and on the defensive end, or in the first preseason game, right? He did a good job on the defensive end. No one's expecting him or asking him to be elite, right? No one expects Austin Reaves to be Jared Vanderbilt defensively, but at least be good. At least hold your own on the defensive end, right? You look at last season, he was atrocious. He was awful. Right, he was awful. And then you got to the playoffs, and he was better, right? He actually did really well in the playoffs on the defensive end. But you look at, the previous season, and he was very good on the defensive end, and still able to go get you, 17 to 20 points on any given night. We need that version of, we need Austin Reaves that can go get you, 16 to 20 on a nightly basis, but also defend at a high level, right? Like not elite level, nothing like, but high enough level to be, not getting cooked out there, possession after possession after possession, right? Like I still am in the camp of, I think when Vando is healthy, you start Jared Vanderbilt and you bring Rui off the bench. That's just me. But I just think you'll have better balance. And now Reaves doesn't have to defend the best player on the other team every single night. And now you could have Jared Vanderbilt do that. And, Darvin Ham was able to make Jared Vanderbilt a viable offensive weapon, right? Like, he was averaging double digits before he ended up getting hurt again. Like, I believe that J.J. Redick and this coaching staff could do the same thing for Jared Vanderbilt. And that would take pressure off Austin Reaves to have to be great defensively night in and night out. But regardless, like, I want to see Austin Reaves just be obviously more consistent. Like, that's a big issue. That's a big point, right? We need him to be as efficient as possible. But also, I want to see him continue to be aggressive. Continue to hunt and find your shot. All right? You don't have to settle. So don't settle. I need you to continue. I want to see, I'm not saying he has to go and get 10 free throws a game, but that was the previous year Austin Reaves, right? He would go get you 20 to 21 a night on like insane efficiency. And it's like, man, this dude's shooting like 60% from the floor. How is he doing that? And he got 20 points and he did it on like 8 attempts. Like, how did that? Oh, it's because he took 9 free throws, right? Because he was being in attack mode. He was being aggressive. He was good at creating and finding contact and then using that contact in order to do that, right? Like, that's the beauty of it. Right? Like, that's what we need to see Austin Reaves continue to be. We need to see Austin Reaves continue to look for his attempts, look for his spots. Don't settle on the offensive things, but be able to defend. We know he can make plays. I don't like him as the primary playmaker, and I'm glad that J.J. Redick didn't do that. I'm glad that J.J. Redick didn't have him basically out there as the sole playmaker, because we saw what that looked like last year, and he's just not ready for that yet. But as that secondary playmaker, as that swing man, as the guy that can make, that can create things for others as well as himself, he's great in that regard, right? Like, that's the beauty. But to me, you got to be like, when your shot isn't falling, right? Like, what else are you doing? Right? Are you playing defense? Are you rebounding? Are you making plays? Okay, good. Now just be in attack mode, right? Get better quality looks. Get closer looks. Start finishing around. Like, most of the time, guys just need to see the ball go through the hoop, right? Because, like, even the first preseason game, Austin Reaves started like 0 of 3 from 3, and he was like 0 of 5 from the field total. All right, and then all of a sudden, he hits a 3, and then he hits another one, right? Like, because you see the ball go in. You see it get in the hoop. Sometimes that's all you need. You just need to see the ball go into the hoop. And then once you see the ball go into the hoop, it opens up things. It makes things easier. But also, if he's being aggressive and he is in attack mode, and then his shot is falling, right? Now he becomes impossible to guard, because you have to close out hard on him because he's able to knock down the 3 ball. And then on top of closing out hard on him, knock down the 3 ball, he can just attack the closeout, and then just put the ball on the deck, get into the middle of the paint, and it's a bucket, right? Him in that mid-range, don't bail out the defense. Don't let the defense get bailed out. Continuously attack the defense. Put the defense in a position where they have to figure you out, not make it easy when you're just standing there just jacking up 3s all game. Now, part of that was just, Darvin Ham and his lack of coaching and recognizing issues and putting guys in better position, right? You saw much more ball movement. You just saw much more creativity on the offensive side with J.J. Redick and this new coaching staff than you ever saw with Darvin Ham. So I am excited about that. But you also saw Austin Reaves just be more aggressive, and I hope that continues. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Austin Reaves continuing to be aggressive? Do you think, his shot will come around? Do you have concerns with his shot? You're like, nah, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out. He'll start getting into a rhythm, start getting into a flow. First preseason game, which, again, I recognize as well, right? Like, you don't want to overreact to one preseason game. You don't want to overreact to just, a bad shooting night, right? He did other things really well. He needs to continue to do those things really well. But it's definitely something to kind of keep an eye on going forward. But however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.